All right, here we go. Today we have Louis Ferrante, former associate of the Gambino crime family, who turned his life around after doing 8.5 years in prison and became an author and the host of the TV show Gangsters Code on Discovery Channel. Welcome to VladTV.
Thank you, Vlad. Great to be here.
Okay, so your first time here. Let's start at the very beginning. So you're born and raised in Queens.
I am. Yeah, I grew up in Queens my whole life and didn't live anywhere else until the FBI took me away. And that's when I started to see the rest of the country for the first time. You know, better look at it. Other than that, I did leave the state, obviously, for vacations or to rob an armored car. The FBI once arrested me for planning an armored car heist in California. They had surveillance photos of me right before the heist, but they swooped in on us. They grabbed us before then. But a lot of times we left the state just for that. And the other time I left the state was when I went to prison and the feds bought me around to different states.
Okay, now your family was not mafia related or crime related in any way, right?
Not mafia related. As far as crime, my mother's side, my uncle went away for hijacking when he was younger. When I was a little kid, I used to visit him in Sing Sing. I remember sitting in the visiting room in Sing Sing, and my feet didn't even touch the floor. That's how young I used to be. You know how young I was when we'd go visit him. So yeah, I grew up visiting my uncle in prison. He was a hijacker. My grandfather took numbers. My grandfather was a war hero, 8 Bronze Stars, Asiatic Pacific during World War II. But he came home after the war. He got in the Union. He drove heavy machinery during the day, and he hung out in the bar and took numbers at night. So my mother's side was a little crooked, but nobody was really in the mafia. No, nobody.
Okay, now you personally, as a teenager, you started with stealing cars?
I did. Yeah, I did. It was the easiest thing to do. I mean, it started out as just joyrides. We'd steal a car, have a joyride, have some fun, do some donuts, ditch the car and go home. And eventually we had a friend of mine's uncle owned a body shop. He bought parts from us. We started selling to another body shop and then another body shop. And before you know it, we were stripping cars left and right, selling the parts to different body shops, and we had our own chop shop. At one point, we would just, we'd leave a graveyard in the woods by my house. And every once in a while, auto crime or somebody would come in there and drag the body, the skeletons out, and we'd start all over. And eventually we had an older guy who rented us a warehouse, and we did the chop shop under a roof then for a little while. And until that got raided, then we'd open up another one. And how I got into hijacking from there was one of the body shops told me how much the toolboxes were worth in his shop. He had these massive, massive toolboxes, Snap-on tools, Matco tools, and he told me the boxes go for thousands of dollars, the tools go for hundreds each tool, and the truck probably got over $100,000 worth of stuff in it. And that was the first time I hijacked a truck. And then from there, I started hijacking trucks, so from the cars, from stealing cars, eventually became a hijacker.
Okay, now your first hijacking, there was someone in the car at the time, right?
Yeah, we always took the guy. You know, something I regret today, but at the time, yeah, we'd put a gun to somebody. I did it myself most of the time. Put a gun to the guy, tell him, listen, you know, we just want your truck. We have no problem with you. We want you to be home with your wife, your kids, or whatever, you know, this afternoon. We're not looking to hurt you. We just want your truck. And we'd usually ask the guy too, is there anything in the truck that you need? You know, and sometimes they'd say, yeah, give me the pictures of my family. Please put them in my back pocket, or my wallet's in the glove compartment, or my information's in the glove compartment, or I need the manifest sheet so I could deal with the insurance company later. And people would talk to us once they knew that we didn't want to hurt them. They would talk to us, and we'd try to help the guy out as much as possible, and then put him somewhere where he'd be found right away. Once again, I regret that today, but it is what it is. That's what we did.
Well, I mean, there's a big difference between stealing a car that nobody's in to actually doing an armed robbery and then a kidnapping on top of that. I mean, in certain places, that's life in prison.
Yeah, and yeah. Hey, look, it's probably rightly so. The way I look at the law today, I wouldn't justify that. I wouldn't condone it. I think it's disgusting. I think if somebody did get caught doing that, they should go away for a long time. And I did go away for a long time. I did face the rest of my life in prison. By the grace of God and a lot of luck and a lot of lawyers and a lot of money towards lawyers, I got out of prison a lot earlier, and a lot of hard work. I studied law and reversed one of my own cases. but I did face life in prison, and I believe that was justified when I did. When I first got locked up, I didn't think so. I thought it was wrong. I thought I was a criminal. Nobody has the right to tell me what I can and can't do. But as I started to think and as I matured in prison, I did realize that everything I did was wrong, and I was where I belonged, in prison, in a maximum security prison, with high stone walls and gun towers and rifles pointed at me and inmates killing each other and all the rest of it. I did deserve. I realized that later.